Hey, what's up, grappling theologians? Bradley Burdett here with your daily devotional. I was reading through Exodus and Exodus 1, the story of Moses, the story of the children of Israel as slaves in Egypt. And interesting, starting in verse 9, 10, and 11, very interesting verses that I think apply to our world at this moment. And paraphrasing, but Pharaoh noticed that the Israelites were growing in number and they were growing in strength. And so he said, let's deal wisely with them. So he was afraid of what they could potentially do. Are they going to, become so strong that we can't control them? That was the whole point, right? Was to keep them enslaved, keep the people enslaved, control them, put fear into their lives, so that, again, they can control the population. Not only that, in verse 11, it says Pharaoh commanded the taskmasters to afflict them. And so if you remember the story, they upped their quota for building, making bricks and things like that. So they added more load, more work into their schedule. And again, it's just this form of controlling the population, control the government, the system in place, controlling the people. So that's the context. And now if we parallel that to what we see in America and across the globe right now, does that not sound familiar? Does that not sound familiar? Interesting. We also know that Pharaoh commanded all of the midwives to kill all of the baby boys, the new baby boys. Why? Again, just to control population, to send fear into the people. I am in control. You will do what I say. No questions asked. What are we seeing in the world right now? What are we seeing in America right now? I'm not exactly sure. I don't have just yet an opinion on ICE. I think what they've been tasked to do at the moment with deporting illegals, deporting criminals, is a good thing. Do I trust our government with that? Absolutely not. Because once we have ICE agents on the street, how easy is it? How easy would it be for our government to now use ICE agents as in law enforcement, as population enforcement, as control? If you think, our government is altruistic, or any government for that matter, you're blind. We see wars, right? We see, think about, the things that are going on right now. And it used to be Ukraine and Russia. Do we even hear about that anymore? That's still going on. Then they jump to the next war, Iran, right? And Israel and us. And now we're in there. And that's going to be, my opinion, we're going to be there a long time. It's going to be another Afghanistan. Trump is talking about invading Cuba. I mean, give me a break. What are we doing? So the point is to distract us, is to continue to distract us from the things that are going on. So we're not, we're no longer concerned about, Ukraine and Russia. Now we're concerned about Iran. And then we're not going to leave there. We're going to be stationed over there. And then we're going to go to Cuba and we're going to do that. And so it's, he's playing, when I say the governments are playing this game, and they're all in on it. And they're having us distracted. Not only that, they're desensitizing us to the idea of war. I mean, you think about it, for the last, in my lifetime, it seems like we've been, at war. See, the Iraq war started in 91. So I was 13. And since then, we've been in war. And so it just goes back to the story of the Israelites in Egypt and how Pharaoh wanted to control the people. Nothing changes. There's nothing new under the sun. Everything repeats itself. Government structures, systems that are in place, they're corrupt. I think about the idea of just the taxation that we have in this country. It's ridiculous, right? All of our tax dollars. And where are our tax dollars going? They're going to fight wars. They're going to, Israel, right? How much money do we give Israel? How much money have we sent to Ukraine? How much money have we wasted on these, what we call, making America great again, right? That's what we were supposed to be all about. And here we are doing, getting off track, and it's really just going off the rails. But we shouldn't be surprised, because again, this is just what happens. This is just what happens. To just kind of sum this up and put a spiritual bow tie on it, the Bible says multiple times, do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I mean, it's all over the Bible. And so regardless of what is going on in our lives, we have to rest assured that God is in control. God is in control. We're hearing rumors of, there are going to be food shortages. And, I have my own business, several businesses that, are, that people, pay for services that they don't really, it's not a necessity. So if everything does collapse, these kinds of things, jiu-jitsu and clothing and all this, I mean, people aren't going to necessarily want to spend money on that. But you know what? I'm not going to get into fear, because I know what God's called me to do. When we do what God's called us to do until he tells us something else. God is in control. We are his kids, right? He's not going to let us down. He is faithful. Even when we are faithless, he remains faithful. And, I think about Lamentations 3. Great is thy faithfulness, O God. Your mercies are new every morning. The Lord is my portion. So don't get into fear, but also be aware of what we're going through. It's happened before, and it's just going to continue to happen, because government structures are corrupt. That's just the story. Hey, that's our daily devotional. Wish I had something better for you, but again, we wrap it up. We close it with God is in control. Love you guys.